So before I get into the main topic of this video, I just wanted to announce two things real quick. First up, my Discord channel is doing a tournament this Friday, May 17th. We're splitting it up into two divisions now, a North American division and a non-North American division. So if you want to get all the details for that, head on over to my Discord channel. I'll post a link in the description of this video about that, and I will be doing commentary for that tournament. And the second announcement is an announcement from Nintendo themselves. We're getting a Super Mario Maker 2 Direct May 15th, that's tomorrow, at 6 p.m. Eastern Time for me, so I will be recording myself watching that. I'll put up a reaction video shortly after, and yeah, I'm actually a little surprised. I didn't think we'd get any kind of Direct this close to E3. I think most people didn't think we'd get any kind of Direct this close to E3, but yeah, we're getting a Mario Maker 2 Direct, so that should be pretty exciting. And then for the main topic of this video, it's once again Google theory, and this one has really blown up. I see people talking about it all over the place. I'm a little surprised it was just a theory. Personally, I didn't even really believe the theory, and I said that last video, but it did come from my Discord, and I did cover it, so I know my name's kind of gotten wrapped up in it a bit, so I see it as like PapaGenos Google theory, but it's actually made by my Discord, and I never really believed it. I still don't really believe it. I think Erdrick is still likely going to be one of our DLC characters, and probably going to happen, and will probably kill this theory. However, I still find the theory very interesting. I'm very intrigued by it. It's kind of a curiosity, and I do think it's worth looking into. It's worth investigating this one. It could be onto something, so it's not something to ignore, but yeah, do I believe it? I don't. So I want to say that up front before I get any further. Now, since I posted that first video covering Google theory, there has been some new revelations, so I do think it's worth, telling you guys what's up with this theory, since it's gotten pretty popular. And I'm not going to get super technical with everything. I'm just going to kind of give you guys the gist of what's going on, and then at the end of this video, I'll tell you exactly what I think is happening here. Now, I do suggest that you watch my last video before watching the rest of this video, so you're totally caught up on Google theory, but I will briefly explain it right now. Basically, what it is that some people noticed that on the European Google search engine, under some very specific conditions that involve clearing your history, signing out of your Google account, shutting off signed out search activity, and then typing in a character's name followed by Smash Bros. Ultimate, sometimes a ad will pop up for certain character names for the DLC for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. We've tried hundreds of names at this point, and so far we've only gotten 5 names to consistently and replicatably by several different people give us this ad, this Nintendo Super Smash Bros. Ultimate DLC ad to pop up when you type that character's name in followed by Smash Bros. Ultimate. Those 5 names are Joker, Banjo-Kazooie, Ryu Hayabusa from Ninja Gaiden, Doom Slayer from Doom, and Artorias from Dark Souls. Now, obviously, Joker is known to be one of our DLC characters, but the other 4, since it's Banjo, Ryu, Artorias, and Doomslayer, some people have named this Brad because the acronym for those names is B-R-A-D. So, yeah, Brad. The idea here is that since we've only gotten those names to pop up the ad for the DLC Fighter Pass, that they may be keywords that Nintendo added to the ad when they first made it. When you make an ad on Google, you can add keywords that will pop that ad up, and those characters may have been added. This implies that the marketing team, the Nintendo of Europe's marketing team that created the Google ad, would have known the full DLC, and some people have some problems with that, but I do want to remind you guys that box theory turned out to be true, and for box theory to be true, that means that the person who created that box art and the person who created the ad that had the box in it had seen the DLC. So yes, sometimes marketing people do get information that the rest of us don't have. They're privy to that sort of thing, and there's a professionalism in marketing where, whatever company's hired you, or if you work for a certain company, you keep that information to yourself. Obviously, I know we all like to think that only Sakurai and a select very few people are going to know the full DLC for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, but in reality, Sakurai can't do everything, and people in advertising and marketing and stuff actually do sometimes get very secretive, classified information in order to do their jobs. Now, I said this in the last video, but if you do the search incorrectly, if any of the steps are done incorrectly, it's possible you can get some pretty wacky characters to pop up the DLC ad, but it usually means you haven't cleared your search history, or you're doing something else incorrectly. So I have seen some people, show an image of, hey, this character worked for me. it's debunked or whatever, but what we really need is not an image someone made, because obviously Photoshop exists. You could type in one of the characters that does work and then just delete their name, type something else in, take a picture of it and say, hey, debunked it. Or you could just be searching it wrong. What we really need is just the name of a character that everyone can try out and go, hey, yeah, that got me the ad too. And so far, we haven't been able to get a character's name that has been replicatable by multiple people like that to get the ad. So far, it's not debunked in that way. Another strange thing that's been happening with this theory is that sometimes there are periods of time where a character's name won't work for anybody. We had this happen with Doomslayer first. I think that was the first one that was noticed, that he just stopped working, and then a few hours later he worked again. Some people have been trying stuff and they're like, I can get Banjo, I can get Artorias, I can't get the rest of them. Or somebody will be like, I can get Ryu and Banjo, I can't get the rest of them. It has happened like that, so we're calling those blackouts. They're just strange periods of time where people can no longer get one or two of the characters, and we're not entirely sure why those are occurring. When it first happened, we got excited and thought maybe Nintendo heard that we, figured this out and started pulling the keywords out of their ad. However, then the characters ended up showing back up when we searched again, so I don't think that's the case. Another possible explanation some people thought up for the blackouts is that if this ad was potentially faked by someone, if someone bought ad space, bought this ad, added keywords to it to try to trick everybody into thinking that this was the DLC or something, that maybe they have to pay for the ad and their funds are running out and they have to renew it in order for the character to show back up. But that implies that buying an ad on Google only lasts for like a few hours and then you have to rebuy it or something. So I don't think that's the case, and I'll go over the whole issues and stuff with trying to fake this one. And then the final theory for why these blackouts sometimes occur with these characters is that Google's algorithm is just kind of weird, and sometimes it just does weird things. That's the one I'm kind of leaning towards as far as why sometimes the characters don't work and other characters do work, and then the characters that didn't work end up working again. It's I think just something weird that's happening with Google's algorithm. So the most interesting character on this list is Artorias. He was definitely a character no one was guessing at, and when we found that his name worked, that was when we got really excited, because he seems like such an out there pick that, we might have stumbled on something. Well, someone sent me a link to an old 4chan leak, or, potentially fake leak, whatever, one of those 4chan leaks, and it is actually about Artorias, and he's just the type of character that I don't think anybody was leaking. So since this is the one and only leak that has him in it that I've been able to find that predates Google theory, it seems worth looking at. So here's the post. It was posted on February 16th, 2019, and it says, Artorias the Abyss Walker will be Smash Ultimate's second DLC and the new Bandai From Rep. Honor Londo will be the stage coming with the pack. Will be portrayed as in the Dark Souls DLC. Color swaps will reference the other three knights. Yellow swap for Ornstein, dark gray for Gog, light blue for Syrian, and other reference Gwyn. His final smash summons Sif. Screen cap this all you want. Okay, so pretty interesting that there is actually an old post claiming to be a leak that says Artorias will be DLC. This fits up with Google theory, and Artorias was a character I didn't think anybody was thinking about. I didn't think there were any leaks or fake leaks, whatever you want to call this, possibly talking about him. But yeah, there actually was one. Now, this one is saying that he will be the second DLC, so that would be the next DLC shown. However, keep in mind that this 4chan post and Google theory aren't necessarily linked, so the 4chan post could be wrong while Google theory could still be right. So if we get somebody else as the second DLC, let's say it's Banjo, we could still have Google theory here. It just means this 4chan post happened to guess Artorias. That's if Google theory is right, of course. Now, I will just mention real quick, there was actually another Artorias 4chan post, but it does not predate Google theory. Actually, Google theory was being created around the same time that this post was posted over on 4chan, so likely someone who was just very early to Google theory before I made my video, posted this over on 4chan right away when we started talking about Artorias. So while this does predate my video, and when Google theory kind of got well known to a lot of different people, it doesn't actually predate the theory itself. Okay, so I said I was going to go over the fakeability of this one, so I'll go over that right now. I know that after the Grinch leak, it's kind of like, okay, anything can be faked. We really can't say someone wouldn't put this effort in, someone can't go to these lengths, something is not actually fakeable. However, with this one, I do not think it's faked. I'm not saying it can't be faked necessarily. I don't think it's faked. That also doesn't mean I think this is the DLC. Like I said, I don't believe this one. I think something else is going on here, but I don't actually think this one is someone faking an ad, adding some keywords, and trying to fool everybody. I think something else is happening here. So in my last video, I brought up what Push Dustin brought up against this theory, which was anyone can make a Google ad, which is true. It is, however, kind of expensive to do so and have it sit just to hope someone will stumble upon it, though maybe the person who potentially faked it, has led us towards it. But the thing is, it's not so much that it's expensive, it actually might be illegal to link an ad that you created to an existing Nintendo ad. So the fact that this is a real Nintendo ad for Joker makes it probably impossible for someone to create their own new ad, add some keywords, and link to something official like the DLC fighter page. You have to have ownership of whatever you're linking to as your ad. You can't just create ads for things you don't own. This post sums it up pretty well. It says, I work in search engine marketing and have an intimate knowledge of Google Ads. Some random person couldn't just run a Nintendo ad without owning their trademark and proving they're a legitimate advertiser. It's tougher to fake a Google ad than you might think. You can bid on whatever keywords you want, but the ad copy itself is pretty strict. If this really is from Nintendo, somebody messed up pretty bad by targeting these keywords early. And that is really what this is all about. If this is a real Nintendo ad, then why are these names causing it to pop up? It's possible they are keywords attached to the ad. So that would be the it's real side of the theory. It's faked would be someone had to somehow link a Nintendo ad and add keywords. That doesn't seem likely to me either. What I think is happening is actually something in the middle, and that is that Google's algorithm is just kind of weird, and there's another reason these names are causing the real Super Smash Bros. Ultimate DLC ad to pop up. Okay, so let me start to give you guys the debunk or a potential debunk for Google theory, a soft debunk for Google theory, what could be happening here that could make Google theory wrong. So these 5 characters don't necessarily have to be our DLC. It is strange that these characters are causing the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate DLC ad to pop up, but they don't necessarily have to be keywords for that ad in order to do that. So the first character that set us on the path to figuring out what potentially is going on here is Artorias. Now, Artorias himself is the name of Dark Souls DLC. Artorias of the Abyss is literally the name of some Dark Souls DLC. So what we came up with is it's possible that Artorias, no matter what you type with it, already has kind of fused with it, kind of linked with it in the Google algorithm, the term DLC. Google's algorithm can be pretty weird, so either because so many people typed Artorias alongside DLC and searched for that in the past, or potentially because so many articles and links also involve the term DLC alongside with Artorias, Google's algorithm might always permanently, whenever you type in Artorias, kind of soft also search this other term that's usually linked with his name, DLC. And that might be why the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate DLC ad pops up when you type in Artorias. His name is just synonymous with the term DLC in Google's mind, in the Google algorithm. So we decided to try the names of other DLC for tons of different games, and then Smash Bros. Ultimate, and search for it. And we did get the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate DLC ad to pop up. So it's possible Artorias is simply the name of DLC, therefore it's causing the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate DLC to pop up. The Google algorithm is just being kind of funky here and thinks that Artorias means we have to also search DLC, and so it's automatically doing that, causing the Smash DLC to pop up. This harkens back to our original idea of what might have been happening with Google theory, which was characters like Banjo, Ryu, Doomslayer, because they were part of so many leaks, because they are part of so many theories and stuff about DLC, they've just been searched so many times along with the term DLC that Google's algorithm has now permanently infused that name with the term DLC whenever you type it. Now, there's still problems with that. Characters like Erdrick and Steve, which should arguably be searched just as much as Ryu, Doomslayer, and Banjo, alongside the term DLC, don't cause the ad to pop up. So we still only have 5 names, the exact amount for the Fighter Pass, to cause this ad to pop up. So it is still kind of suspicious because of that. Some people have claimed to be able to get Cloud or Corrin to work, so past Smash DLC character names. No other characters though, and I can't get actual confirmation on that. I asked some people to try it, some people didn't get it, but again, because of the blackouts and stuff, things can be spotty, so I need to look back into that, but so far, the ones that I know have consistently been repeated are the 5 that are part of the Google theory. Now, Artorias being the name of DLC, and the fact that the name of other DLCs are also popping up the Smash ad makes me think he's probably not actually a character we're going to get in Super Smash Bros. However, we tried the names of other characters that are DLC, and we didn't get the ad. We actually have yet to get a character that is the name of DLC to pop up the ad. We've gotten some other names of DLC packs to do it, but Artorias is the only character that actually works. I think we tried it with Dragonborn, which is both a character and the name of a DLC pack, and it doesn't get it. So yeah, we've tried a few different characters. We can't get it. It's a little strange Artorias does it, but again, he is a DLC pack for Dark Souls, so that might be the reason why. So let me go over each of the characters in Google theory and explain why they might not actually be a key word for the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate DLC ad, but rather something else has infused them, linked them with the term DLC in the Google algorithm. Banjo-Kazooie is one of the most popular characters for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate DLC, so it's possible, since so many people have just typed in Banjo DLC, Banjo Smash DLC, Banjo-Kazooie Smash DLC, etc., that Google's algorithm now, whenever you type in Banjo-Kazooie, is adding the term DLC. Ryu Hayabusa was part of the 5chan leak, so people may have just typed in his name alongside DLC a bunch of times and is now, again, permanently infused with Ryu Hayabusa. It's also possible that because the name is Ryu, and Ryu was DLC for Super Smash Bros. For Wii U 3DS, that has linked the name with DLC. However, strangely enough, typing in just Ryu, I haven't seen anyone be able to get the ad pop up with just the name Ryu, and it does seem like Hayabusa is necessary to cause the ad. So yeah, a little strange. That might not be what's happening. Might be because of the 5chan leak, or, you know, again, maybe it is a keyword. Who knows? Doomslayer was also a part of the 5chan leak, so it's possible that because Doomslayer was part of the 5chan leak, so many people looking that leak up typed in Doomslayer alongside the term DLC, and it's now been fused together in Google's algorithm. The strange thing here, though, is that Doomslayer isn't necessarily like the official name, or at least not among fans. Some people call him Doom Guy, some people call him Doom Marine, so it's strange that only Doomslayer has been fused with the term DLC. That's obviously kind of weird. It seems more likely in this case that a keyword Doomslayer is causing the ad to pop up, because you'd think with people looking up the 5chan leak, they'd have looked them up under different titles, and those should be just as fused with DLC, but they're not. Doom, of course, also has its own DLC, so it's possible that that is causing it. But again, it has to be Doom Slayer, so it's very interesting here. Artorias is, of course, the most obvious one. Artorias is the name of Dark Souls DLC itself. Artorias is a Dark Souls DLC boss, so again, the Google algorithm may have entwined, infused, linked together the term Artorias with the term DLC, and when you search it, they search together. Now, the strange thing with every single one of these characters is that these are the only 5 we can get to work. We can't get any other characters to consistently, repeatably, through the correct process, cause the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate DLC ad to pop up, so it's very suspicious that we only have 5. The Fighter Pass is only 5. Again, given that we've gotten the exact number of characters as the Fighter Pass to work, and no other characters have worked, even highly likely ones that should have DLC just as much associated with their names, like Erdrick and Steve, this is certainly a curiosity. It's definitely pretty interesting, and I don't fault anyone for thinking this might be what we're getting, but personally, I still think we're getting Erdrick. I'm still more on that side of things. E3 is pretty soon anyway, so we should get some definitive answers then. Okay, so as I was editing this video, we got another little update here about this Google theory. Essentially what's happened is we tested out during one of these blackout times, the times when the names mysteriously stop working for a little bit. We tried out typing them with Smash Bros. Ultimate DLC, adding DLC at the end instead of usually just typing Smash Bros. Ultimate. And they don't bring up the ad. Now, what's weird about that is typing Smash Bros. Ultimate DLC, typing any character and then typing that, usually does bring up the ad. That's how we end up getting wacky ones like typing SpongeBob, Smash Bros. Ultimate DLC. It'll bring up the ad just because you added DLC there. Well, right now, the 4 characters during a blackout don't work even if you add DLC to the end. Now, obviously, this isn't anything conclusive in either direction, but there's the possibility that the reason these blackouts are happening is actually Nintendo doing damage control, possibly removing the keywords or something like that, because typing in any character plus Super Smash Bros. DLC tends to yield the ad. But right now, the 4 characters that usually get it without typing DLC are now not getting it even with typing DLC, making it look like they've been blacklisted from getting the ad or something. I don't know exactly if Google can have like negative keywords that can't get an ad or something, and maybe these names have been moved to that to block them, or what is going on. I have absolutely no idea, but it's very, very interesting that now kind of the reverse is happening. Typing in anything followed by Smash Bros. Ultimate DLC right now is still bringing up the ad. However, the 4 characters that we found are not when you type in Smash Bros. Ultimate DLC. So it's suspicious. Again, nothing conclusive here, but this does look like a bit more evidence in favor of these 4 names actually being different than other character names, that they may in fact be keywords or something associated with this ad in some way. So decide for yourself whether or not you believe these are actually keywords associated with that ad, and therefore they are our, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate DLC, or if you think something else is going on here. So that's everything new I got for Google Theory. I will continue to watch this one, even though I don't personally believe it. It is still pretty interesting, and if anything really exciting or major gets found out about it, I'll let you guys know. I do think we'll know whether or not this one's real at E3 when we get a character revealed. Either this one will survive E3 or someone like Erdrick will get revealed and this theory will be dead. I do still want to do a me costume theory video. Tomorrow I'm going to do a Mario Maker Direct reaction video, so I don't know when I'm going to get a chance to do the me costume theory. I will try to get it done before E3 at least. So yeah, if you guys have any comments on any of the stuff I talked about in this video, any new information on this Google theory thing, let me know in the comments below. So once again, thank you guys for all the subscribes, all the likes. Really helps out the channel. So if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and do so, or like the video, or leave a comment, whatever you want. Until next time, have a good one.